Hi, I'm Steven.
I'm Josh.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Ben.
Okay, so picture the scene. It's dark out, and when driving past the intersection, you see her. She's standing in revealing clothing on the corner, waiting to be approached by John. Is this what you think of when you hear the term prostitution? Some of you may have a predetermined opinion on this controversial issue that we will be discussing. It's about if legalizing prostitution in licensed places like brothels across the U.S. We will be discussing what a brothel is, as well as some current problems that we're facing due to prostitution. We'll also be discussing how Nevada has been successful with legalizing prostitution in brothels. We'll also be learning some interesting information from a prostitute who's licensed, who's been working at the Bunny Ranch in Reno. Okay, first we'll begin by learning what a brothel is, as well as a brief history of prostitution. So a brothel is a licensed place, an establishment where someone can go and purchase sexual favors from a licensed prostitute without breaking the law or anything like that. So there's currently 11 counties in Nevada that have legalized brothels, as well there's to be 25 forms of prostitution, known from street walking, which we'll be discussing, as well as posting ads on Craigslist, and that's another form. So prostitution has been around since 2400 BC. It's said that in the 5th century, an Athenian lawmaker actually started taxing prostitutes as well as brothels on their earnings. The cost of sex back then was the average salary of a day's work. Okay. So some of the current problems that we're facing due to prostitution, more likely of the street walking sorts, are the following. Prostitutes are not working in an established environment, so the risk for their safety as well as other safety is high. 90% of women interviewed by Whisper, which is women hurt in systems of prostitution engaged in results, have had to have pimps. Now, pimps have been known to starve their victims, sexually assault them, as well as put prospects of captivity onto them. So, an estimated of 1% of American women, or 1 million people, have served as prostitutes at some point in their life. With this high number of people, think of how many were breaking the law and putting other people in danger. Now, this number is also extremely conservative because most prostitutes and johns don't get caught. But in the FBI's 2007 Uniform Crime Report, it says that estimates 78,000 arrests for prostitution and commercialized vice. So next we'll be learning about a prostitute named Honey. Now she's a 19-year-old prostitute and she's been working in Oklahoma for the last 4 years. Remember, I said she was 19. This clip is an excerpt from johntv.com and it was also on YouTube. It has been edited to match the time requirement. So we'll learn a little bit about her.
A lot of the girls tend to think that they're going to be out here for the rest of their lives and stuff like that, which I pointed out, these crackheads and these old women that's out here, they've probably been out here all their lives. And this is not what you want to look like because they look older than what they really are. Because this is a stressful thing to do, And if you, like they say, women that do this, they usually don't live up, if they keep on doing it, they usually don't live up to 25 years old because they get killed. A lot of the girls...
As you can see, that this is a bad path to be on. Now we will learn the legalities and requirements that Nevada brothels have to adhere to in order to keep their license. Though prostitution is illegal, it's still a current problem, and a few counties in Nevada allow this. Mustang Ranch, for example, is located off of Interstate 80. They have signs on the freeway for advertisements such as billboards. Their slogan is "Trying to tame the wild." Now, advertising in counties that do not allow this is definitely illegal still. Locations cannot be in counties with a population of 400,000 people or within 400 yards of schoolhouses or common school grounds, as well as places of worship or devotional services. Seeking initial employment have to submit to a series of testing requirements. The following is from NAC 4418-800, Prostitution Laws of Nevada. They have to be tested for the presence and absence of HIV, syphilis, as well as chlamydia and gonorrhea. They cannot be employed until these test results come back from the Department of Health and Human Services with a clean bill of health and none of the diseases listed. Once employed in a house of prostitution, they have to undergo the series of testing through the whole length of their employment. They have to do blood tests weekly for HIV and syphilis, as well as cervical specimen monthly for the chlamydia and gonorrhea. Now, due to the law referring to a cervical specimen, it barred men from getting this job. In 2009, a unanimous vote was displayed and it was voted for men to have to undergo a urethral sample to become a licensed prostitute. This was from the owner of the Shady Lady Ranch, and she initiated this change. She wanted men in her brothels, that's why she wanted to do this. In a closely monitored environment, it can cut down on the transmissions of disease, as well as proving a safer environment for prostitutes and their clients. For those who think that this would spread disease, since 1986, there has not been a documented event of a prostitute, a licensed prostitute of course, testing positive for HIV. Let us discuss how legalizing in brothels in eligible counties is beneficial to us. In a monitored, safe, and secure environment, a large positive for these licensed brothels would be tax revenue. Currently, prostitutes and brothels pay federal income tax like other businesses, as well as local fees, but they are exempt from paying state taxes. In 2005, brothels lobbied an attempt to pay state taxes, fearing that they wanted to say that their business was a legitimate business. The request was denied, and Greg Bordelin, a spokesman of the governor, said that he thinks as well that he would be affirming the industry if he supported the bill. That's why the bill was said to be denied. It resulted in this counties make 25% of their business fees from brothels. For example, Business Insider reports that in 2006, Lyon County made $316,000 in brothel fees and $25,000 in local working permits for these girls. Imagine how much money we would generate if this was legalized in counties across the U.S. The prostitutes are labeled as private contractors and that they cannot be eligible for unemployment, retirement, or health care benefits. Within these brothels, all counties require their girls and guys to be 21 years of age, except in Story County and Lyon County, which they allow the minimum age to be 18. Age requirement would remove minors from participating in this career, and in turn, customers may be more likely to go to a legal establishment instead of being the risk of getting busted. Although with these positives, there are negatives to be considered about this line of work. It is seen immoral to many people, as well as Harry Reid, a senator from Nevada, issued the following quote. It's from Senator Reid in a speech to 2011 Nevada Congress. Nevada needs to be known as the first place for innovation and investment, not as the last place while prostitution is still legal. Nevada is listed to the 10 states with the more prostitution-related arrests. So though it is legal in brothels, they still have a high rate of arrest for this job. Nevada holds number 4 with 3,738 prostitution-related arrests in 2010 in the Bureau of Justice State Statistics Arresting Data Tool. After covering the basic information on what the brothel is, let's see what it would bring to our community. So a lot of people do not know information on this subject, but Switzerland has legalized a brothel type of sex trade. They have legalized sex boxes, which is an industrial area where people can come park their cars and commence in this sort of environment. There's a panic button on the passenger side, as well as an escape route for the male or female. Street walking is still illegal there, and though they allow this, their testing procedures are not like Nevada's. After looking into this, I came across Air Force Amy. She's a prostitute at the Bunny Ranch, and she has a few things about this. Well, number one, she was in the Air Force and she received an honorable discharge. That was a little interesting information I got. And Budweiser is a corporate sponsor of their brothel and has a whole room dedicated to it. The most money that she's ever seen spent by a gentleman was $1.75 million in 3 weeks with 5 different girls. Mind you, this information was gathered off of her personal website as well as a video tour, so I couldn't cross-reference this information. After hearing loads of information, I hope you can find your position on this issue. We, of course, looked into brothels, the current problems we have facing with prostitution, as well as the legalities that Nevada licensed brothels have to adhere to. So, I have researched information, considered different opinions, and have finally considered my stance on this subject. For me, I believe legalized brothels should be allowed across the U.S. and, of course, eligible counties. Now, other forms of prostitution, such as street walking and other ads, should continue to be illegal. Of course, these women, they have to pay taxes, like other jobs, like real estate offices and such. So why not that, just because I don't like this form of employment doesn't mean that I should step on them, because they're not harming others and they're basically working in a safe environment in licensed brothels. So thank you.